evening, I'm Simon Boxall in for Donna Bush with your CIGTV News Brief and weather forecast. Thanks for joining us. Parliament met today to select members of 4 standing committees. Premier Wayne Panton will chair the Standing Business Committee. This committee deals with the day-to-day running of Parliament when in session. MPs Chris Saunders, Kenneth Bryan, Andre Ebanks, Roy McTaggart and Alden McLaughlin will act as members of the Standing Business Committee. Mr. Panton and Mr. Saunders will serve as the chair and deputy of the Privileges Committee. Members of the Select Committee that oversees the Office of the Ombudsman include Chair Bernie Bush, MP, Mr. Saunders, David White, MP, and Joey Hugh, MP. Meanwhile, leaders of the opposition will chair the Public Accounts Committee with Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes as deputy. MPs Isaac Rankin, Heather Bodden, Barbara Connolly, and Dwayne Seymour are the remaining committee members. There's a new district commissioner for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Mr. Mark Tibbetts took office on the 21st of April following the retirement of the previous district commissioner, Mr. Ernie Scott, the day before. The appointment follows a 31-year career in the civil service, including 14 years as deputy district commissioner. Mr. Tibbetts also has private sector experience in the telecommunications and tourism sectors. His predecessor, Mr. Ernie Scott, who left the service after a distinguished 48-year career, received a special farewell message from Governor Martin Roper.
Good morning, Ernie, and good morning, Cayman Brac. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person for this evening's celebration of Mr. Scott's time with the civil service. I am very pleased the Deputy Governor is joining you, and we have had an incredible week here in Cayman forming the new government, but very pleased that's all in shape and looking forward very much to working with the new government. Ernie, 47 years in the civil service is quite an incredible achievement, and I just really want to say a huge thank you to you for everything that you have done over that period. You'll have seen some incredible changes over that time. You've probably seen a lot of governors as well, although I recognise not all as handsome as I am. But I just want to say a thank you on behalf of all the people in Cayman Brac, all the people on the Cayman Islands for what you have done, your service to help make lives better over such a long time. And I want to just wish you the very best in your retirement. I have very many fond memories of coming to the Brac in my 2.5 years here in Cayman Islands, and I can still remember one of the very first visits, which and you and I have joked about this a lot because you fed me more times than anyone has ever fed me in my life, which just underlines the Cayman Brac hospitality and culture. But I expected breakfast, lunch and dinner, but I didn't expect some food every hour throughout the whole of the day. And I don't think that's happened to that extent since. But you've been incredibly helpful to me as governor on my visits. You've looked after me and supported me incredibly well. And 47 years is an incredible record of service. So thank you for what you've done. I want to also wish all the very best to District Commissioner Tibbetts on taking on the role. I know Cayman Brac is in extremely good hands now, but I really just want to say have a fantastic evening, really celebrate 47 years, and thank you again for everything you have done.
The role of District Commissioner leads the Department of District Administration and advises the relevant ministry. The post holder also heads up the Sister Islands Disaster Management Response Committee. The National Gallery yesterday evening opened the second Cayman Islands Biennial, a tri-island multi-venue art project. The title of this year's project is Reimagined Futures, and the curatorial team invited artists to respond to the monumental upheavals that took place in 2020, such as the COVID-19 pandemic. Members of the public came out to the gallery last night to view the final selection, which was shortlisted through a rigorous juried process. Overall, the show includes work by 41 local artists in a wide variety of media. The artworks are being displayed simultaneously at 5 different locations across the Cayman Islands. Project hosts include the National Gallery, along with Owen Roberts International Airport, the National Trust's Mission House, the Queen Elizabeth II Botanic Park, the Little Cayman Museum, along with special programming in Cayman Brac. For a full list of all workshops, lectures, and events running throughout the biennial, please visit nationalgallery/exhibitions/biennial. Turning to our weather, the synopsis calls for light northeasterly winds and seas with moderate southeasterly winds from Saturday morning. A ridge of high pressure is expected to move into the northwest Caribbean Sea. Radar images show isolated showers north of the Cayman area moving west. This evening, though, there will be partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight, with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. For the latest weather forecast, you can always visit www.weather.gov.ky. And that ends today's news brief here on CIG Television. I'm Simon Boxall, inviting you to join us here again on Monday. Until then, enjoy your weekend.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
Join Donna Bush weekdays at 6 p.m. for the CIG TV News Update. Get the latest on what's happening in government on a daily basis. News Update first at 6 p.m.